Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylin Phillips, and today we will be talking about some technology tools that are useful in the classroom and incorporate the many different types of technology that we have available to us in this day and age. So again, I'm Kaylin.
I'm Tiffany.
I'm Chris.
I'm Destiny.
And we are going to go ahead and get started. So the first application that we will be talking about today is an app called Plickers. And Plickers describes himself as a powerfully simple tool that lets teachers collect real-time formative assessment data without the need for student devices. And as we all know, but I just want to tell everyone else, formative assessment, including diagnostic testing, is a range of formal and informal assessment procedures conducted by a teacher during the learning process in order to modify teaching and learning activities to improve student attainment. Plickers is a way to tailor instruction and receive instant feedback. So, okay. Plickers is an application that the teacher has and only the teacher. So no students have to use an iPhone, an iPad, or anything to participate in a Plickers lesson. And the only thing that the students need are these little cards, which I will talk about in a minute. It is originally designed for the iPad, so if you are using an iPhone, as a teacher, if you are using an iPhone for the Plickers app, you would need to search for it and use the filter for iPhone only if you are looking for it in the App Store. Plickers is essentially a way that teachers can quiz their students on really anything, and that is done by these little cards that I'm going to show you what they look like right now. I'm just going to, oh, okay, can you guys see the cards that I'm showing you?
No, can you try moving your screen out of the way, the Google Hangout screen?
Sure. Is that better?
Try sharing your screen one more time. I think there was a little
Okay.
technical difficulty right there.
Okay, how about now? Can you see the cards now?
Yes. Yes, that's much better. Thanks.
Okay. Cards look like, and each student in your class would individually get one of these cards, and they all look a little bit different because as I said again, they're all geared individually, so they're all going to look a little bit different, but that's just what the cards look like, so keep that in mind. Can you guys see me again?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So these cards are the cards similar to a scan or barcode card, and each of these cards has a unique number that can be assigned to individual students. The card is double-sided, and each side of the card is a different answer choice. After you have the cards, you and your class and individual students, you can enter your class online, and each individual student onto the Plickers website on the tab that says Classes, and Plickers automatically assigns card numbers to students as you enter the name on their website. So that's one thing that's really cool, because all you have to do is put in your student's name, and then they will assign a card, and when it's time for you to do an activity, a Plickers activity, you just give that card to that student. To add questions to your Plickr quiz or assignment, all you have to do is go to your questions library, which is directly in the app that you as the teacher would have on your phone, and you can type in any question. It's very simple. It's very easy. But the one stipulation with this app is that the question does have to be multiple choice or true or false. Students cannot type in answers because, again, they don't actually have to have any technology to participate in any type of Plickers activity. But the good thing about the app is that you can include pictures with your questions. So you could still do anything involving like math or science or history where they would have to choose a picture or something like that. And if you have a bunch of different questions in your library that aren't in any specific category, and when you're giving the students the Plickers quiz or game activity, you can directly on your phone click exactly what questions in your questions library that you want to ask your students. And all you have to do is simply tap on them. Once you're done, and the way that it works is you ask the question to your students. They can see the question. It comes up on the screen, and then they will put their card in the air. And one side could be yes, one side could be no, one side could be true, one side could be false, or A or B, etc. And they hold that card in the air really high for you as a teacher to see. And then all the teacher has to do is tap the little camera icon that you will see in the application and hold the phone up in the air. And I think that this is so cool, but the phone literally scans through your camera all of the answers that the students in your class give, and they automatically get inputted into the system, and then you can instantly view any of the data, like what student got what question wrong, what question was the hardest for them to execute, what do we need to work on a little bit more. You can see all of that data through these Plickers quizzes and these Plickers questions. And as a teacher in private, you can use the score sheet tab, which they also have in the app, to monitor student progress. And it also saves time for grading because Plickers grades everything right there. And you can see the actual charted out data for each individual student as well as the entire class. And that just helps you just determine where your students are in the classroom. And I really, really, really liked this tool, and I thought it was so interesting, and it was really fun to research, and it was something that I had never seen before. So I really enjoyed getting to know a new tool. And if anybody has any questions at this time, before I bring out questions, I do want to say as I said, I got really excited because I feel like there are so many ways that you can use this in the classroom. You can use it to play educational games. You can use it to have students identify proper nouns or improper nouns. And with this, you know what students really understand and what they don't understand. In my placement currently, I'm placed in a second grade classroom. My students are working on the understanding of facts and opinions, and I think that this tool would be perfect to use with students, and you could just have like a fact or an opinion on the board, and all they would have to do is answer. One side would mean fact and one side would mean opinion, and instantly you know what students need a little bit more attention and a little bit more help on understanding a fact versus an opinion, and which students really know their stuff. So I think that that is how I would use it in the classroom, and I think that it would be really beneficial. And now, if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask me, the floor is open.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes,
this
Chris.
seems like some very advanced technology, so I'm assuming it costs a lot of money. How much does the app cost, and do you have to pay for the cards as well?
So that is a very good question. The app itself is completely free, but the cards do cost money. So when I was looking at how much the cards cost, I went on Amazon and I found that a set of 40 cards is $20 on Amazon. and the prices go up and down from there because there are different sizes and packages of the number of cards you can get. And I personally think that $20 for 40 of these cards is a pretty good deal. I don't know about you guys, but just to do this and experience it, I definitely think $20 is worth it.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, I do. You've talked about the cards a lot. Can you use the same cards for multiple class sets?
Yes, you can. So the really cool thing about the cards is that each student individually gets a card, but so say you're in a high school classroom where students are moving in and out and you have a different group of students every period, the student in the class before, say the student in the class before has card number 10, and that is that student's card for that particular period. But then in the next period, another group of students come in, and another student in that class can also have card number 10. And the really cool thing about the app is that your classes can be separated. So yes, definitely you can reuse these cards for multiple students. Every student does not need to have their own individual card.
So this can be used for K through 12, not just in elementary school?
Yeah, I definitely think that this is something that can be used across the board in education. I think this could even be used, honestly, in the college level. And I was thinking that we do something very similar in terms of like our clickers. I don't know if you've ever taken like a biology 101 class here at Salisbury, but we have clickers and there are clicker questions, and we do something very similar where we click in our answer or tell them that we're present. Sometimes that's how they take attendance. So yeah, I definitely think this can be used in any grade level.
Awesome, thanks.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. My question is, how many students max can you add in a class?
So I did actually look at this. You can add up to 63 students in a class. I know it's kind of an odd number, but 63 students is the max that you can have in one class in terms of the cards and in terms of the Plinkers app. I think they only sell cards in a max of a pack of 63 exactly. And I think the reason why is because you can only have up to 63 in a class.
All right, that was it.
Okay, and any other questions?
I think we're good, and I think I will go ahead and start. I actually did 2 tools for this Google Hangout that we're doing. The first one is BookWizard, and that can be found at scholastic.com/bookwizard/. And just to give you guys a better picture of it, I'm actually going to show you it on my screen. And can you guys see it on my screen right now?
Yes.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
All right. So this is a very good site for students and teachers to use. Obviously, you can search for all of the books, similar books, or by their reading level. And one of the things that I really thought was cool was down here, this section called Featured Authors. And here's one about Dr. Seuss, which obviously his birthday was yesterday. So on this, it gives a nice introduction about him, a biography of him. And it's easy for students to understand. It's very easy to read. And if you click on this tab that says Delve Deeper into the World of Dr. Seuss with an Author Study, they actually do author studies for each author that they have here. So they have articles that you can look, activities, lesson plans, and even unit plans that you can look at. I thought that that was very cool, and it'll give you everything that you need for your lesson plan. So if you click on a lesson plan, it'll show you the grade level, the overview, the objective, materials, and everything that you could possibly need for this assignment, which I thought was pretty cool. Then going back to the beginning where we started off on here, you can have the discussion guides for books. So if you click on this, if you go to discussion guides, and just to show you one, I looked at Charlotte's Web because I remember reading that book in elementary school. And on here, it gives the grade level for that book, and down here where it says about this book, it has the guided reading level, the age, the genre, and then the subjects. And over here, so I heard that you guys cannot see what I am showing you. Is that true?
I think that it might have possibly just caught up with us, so I think that we're starting to see what you want us to see. I currently see something about a spider, correct?
Yes, that is perfect. Okay, so I don't know if we're having something wrong with our internet, but I'll just keep talking about it. So pretty much on this, you have discussion guides for different books, and on here it lists the major themes, the subjects of it, the skills that you can learn, and all of that. There's also a section for specifically teachers, and it is called Videos for Teachers. And on here, you can look at different authors and illustrators, books and series. You can even go inside the classroom, which I thought was pretty cool. There's also a new book section where each book is given a summary, the author information, the interest level, and the reading level. Here you can buy these books as well. Also, there's a book list tabs where you can actually make your own book list to customize to either your reading level, the overall theme, and etc. So overall, there's a lot of different things on these websites. It's great to explore. There's also this teacher store that you can go to, and it has anything from books to supplies, anything that students would need for those books. So I'm going to, can you guys see me now? There we go. So overall, it's an awesome tool for kids to use for books, but also teachers can use to see the level of the book and all of that stuff. So does anybody have any questions for this first one that I did?
Yes, I have a question. Do you have to sign up for an account, and is it free?
You actually do not have to sign up for an account, which I thought was pretty cool. You can get everything that you need without signing up for one, but if you do sign up for one, they give you, perks that you can have. So educators and parents have two separate types of logins, so you can do different things for each one.
Okay, so if you do sign up for an account, is that when it costs money, or is that also free?
It is also free. Nowhere do you have to spend money, but if you sign up as an educator, you can put in your school information, and then I think you can get things for cheaper and get deals and stuff.
Okay, great.
Now, I really liked this tool. What was the name of it again so I can write it down?
Book Wizard.
Okay, Book Wizard. Okay, thank you. And I also have a question about the application, similar to the account. Now, do you need an account for the teacher store for Book Wizard?
This one, you actually do not need an account. But once again, you get better deals if you do sign up for one. And then you'll get weekly emails, I believe, that give you the deals that they're doing for that week and so on.
Okay, very cool.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll go ahead and go on to my next tool that I looked at. This one was called Rubistar, which is creating rubrics. And as we all know as educators, that we are going to have to use rubrics and give our students rubrics so they can understand what we will be looking for. So this tool lets you actually create different rubrics. And I'm going to show you this once again, so let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
We can see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one you actually do have to log in for an account. It is free, but this way, if you log in, you can save your rubrics so you can go back to them and use them at a different time. So you can choose a topic down here, and it actually lets you create them. So for example, if you click on math because you want to do a math one, and let's say you want to do a graphing rubric. it actually takes you and has it completely set up, and you can put in your name, the project. You can do the zip code, but I do not think that it is required. And also, this is a very important step. This says my rubric is temporary, or if you want it permanent. If it's permanent, you will be able to save it and come back to it another time. But if you only do temporary, you will not be able to do that. So down here, it gives you your categories that you can do, and then you personally type in what it is. So this way you can customize it to the way that you want to. This is a very easy site to use, but there are tutorials for everything that you would want to do. So if you wanted to look into that, you can. Also, just to see an example rubric, you can search for different rubrics that people have used before. And we'll see if this will come up. It seems to be taking a little while. But you can look to see what other people have used and to get ideas or anything like that. And it seems to be taking a little while to load. But you guys saw the process to go through. So I'm pretty sure we're good with that. And it's very easy to use, but you do have to sign up for an account in order to save it. And if you do not sign up, you cannot save it. So it would be a temporary, so you would have to use it then and there. So once again, this was my last tool for today. Are there any questions?
I have 2 questions. My
Okay.
first question is, where can I find this site?
Okay, oh, I did not mention that. I'm sorry. So you can actually find it. It's called Rubistar. It's RUBISTAR for teachers.org/index.php. So it's kind of a funky site. So I'm glad that you asked that question.
And my second question is, can you print off the rubrics?
Yes, you can print off the rubrics, and that is where the portion where if you want it to be temporary or permanent, that you have to put permanent. But in order to do that, you have to create an account. So if you want to print off them, you cannot just you have to have an account.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Is that all the questions that you guys had for Tiffany? All right, cool.
Yes.
Then I'm going to get started on mine. Mine is called Electron Inks. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but it's called Electron Inks or Electron Inks, and that's how it's spelled as well. And so it's a product that you can buy, and they just came out on Kickstarter in 2014 and got fully funded. And what you do is you can go and you can make circuits just by using a pen. It's amazing because normally you'd have to use wires and then you have to worry about lead and everything in all the products. But with this, it's much safer for the students and it's actually a lot cheaper. So I'm going to show you their website right now. Can you guys see the website?
Yes,
Yes, we can.
Great. So this is the website, and it's for electronics, and this is the main page. And there are all these different modules that you can purchase. There's like a battery adapter, USB adapter, so that way you don't have to worry about batteries. You can just plug it straight into a USB and into the wall, like you do with your phone or your laptop or anything you use. There are LEDs, there's potentiometers, and all of these things are great for teaching students. Once you get into these higher end things, it's really for the older kids, but this way it's adaptable for all ages. And with the kits, you get different things with each one, but with the basic kit, which is what you would normally get, you get a 9-volt battery, two LEDs, some switches, transistor, and the conductive ink pen, which is the really neat thing about this product. So what you do is you can draw any kind of picture or circuit. It really leaves it up for the freedom of the student. And that way they can create their own things instead of following on a breadboard or a regular kit like they normally would. And with these, there's a bunch of different educational tools that you can use, like the workbook, and then they have special templates that you can buy, and all kinds of different things. So basically, it allows students to create circuits, and it can teach them about conductivity and resistance, parallel and series transistors, diodes, and other basic digital electronics.
Chris, if you wanted to make sure that you quit the screen share. Okay.
Yeah, sorry
Just
about that.
wanted
I
to double
noticed
check.
it at the last second there. But usually you would use this product in a class with 10 to 20 students. It's not really that great if you have too much more, but you could always buy like another kit. It's just it works best with a slightly smaller group, but 20 students is a decent sized class, so if you had 22, then it's not going to be a big deal either. And with these kinds of kits, you can gain all the knowledge you need to know pretty much from first grade all the way through high school. It has modules for anything from lights to speakers to engines even. So if anybody has any questions, I could take some of those at this time.
Yes, I do actually. I have two. One, so you made the comment about how it would be like all grade levels. So do you think kindergartners could use something, or do you think it would be more suited for the higher up in elementary school?
That's a good question. Well, with kindergartners, I wouldn't really give them the kits, but I might demonstrate something with it. Like I could draw out something, and they have these really cute templates where there's like a bear, and so I could have the students still draw on the bear, and then I would put the electronics on it and show them that it lights up pretty colors, but I wouldn't go into anything like the speakers or anything too elaborate for kindergartners. Any other questions?
I have one question. Tiffany, do you have another question before I go?
Yes, I actually did. I'm sorry. So you talked about that there's a class set, but how much would one of those cost me?
Okay, so a class set, it comes with 10 kits and a workbook, and that would cost you $439. It sounds steep at the time, but if you use it for 20 years, the product's not going to go bad at any point. The only thing you might need to get is refills for the pens, and so a refill for a pen is not going to be that expensive when you have all the other electronics which can be reused. And one thing that I didn't mention about them is they're actually magnetic. So when you draw on paper, it's metal that you're basically drawing out of a pen, and you can stick the modules straight on it and they'll stay since they're magnetic, which is really neat. Kaylin, did you have a question?
Yes, I do have one question. So how many different kit levels are there for you to choose from?
Okay, so there are 5 different kit levels, and I think I'm going to share the screen again just so that you'll be able to see the different kits as I'm telling you about them.
Okay.
Just do that real quick. And can you see the kits right now?
Yes, we can see the kits.
Okay, so for the elementary ages, we would normally go with a basic kit. It has everything you need, but it's just like if you wanted to get into more advanced stuff like making motors, you might want to go to this maker kit where it's got all kinds of different types of motors and transistors, a buzzer, a blinker, and it has a more advanced workbook. So if you can see where my mouse is, these are all the different pieces that come with the larger kit. And this is not the largest kit, but that's the largest one I would say for elementary school for sure. But if you went into high school, you might get the developer kit or possibly even the ultimate kit. But I don't even know if that would be high school level. It seems like you'd have to be a tech student in high school to get to that level. You wouldn't want to do this as a foundation student in high school. And are there any other questions?
I think I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Then I'll hand the baton over to Destiny.
Hi, so the tool that I researched was Kahoot, and I thought it was really interesting just because Kahoot basically allows you to create games, and these games they're very educational. So like if you're doing like a subject like math or science, you would just create these questions, and the students would answer the questions, and it would just be like a game because a lot of these days students they're not really interested in like the basic answer questions. If you make it entertaining with the game such as Kahoot, it makes it really interesting. So Kahoot creates learning games, and it can be played by your own students on their own devices. So if they have like cell phones, they can use Kahoot at home. And the games are also displayed on a share screen, so they don't have to like touch anything extra. So I'm going to show you. Where is it? Can you guys? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay, so this is the website for Kahoot, and I'm just going to go down to how it works. And it's basically a 1, 2, 3 step. It's a 1, 2, 3 step type thing. So first you would create a fun learning game, and it's called Kahoots, and it's made from a series of multiple choice questions. You can add videos, images, diagrams to make it more engaging for the students. And then after you created it, you could play it, and it's best played in group settings like the classroom. And like I said before, the players, which would be the students, can answer on their own devices, while their answers would be displayed on the share screen. And then you could share it, which is, I think it's really good because then everyone in the room could like really see like how everyone is answering the questions. Okay. So are there any questions? Oh, I forgot to mention there are different Kahoots. There is a blind Kahoot, and there's also a ghost mode. And with Kahoot, you're also able to connect to different classrooms around the world. And I just think it's really universal, and you can really use this, and you connect with different people. So if you want to use that, I think it's really good for different range of subjects. Any questions?
All right, I have a question. You did mention that it could be used for math or science, but could it also be used for other subjects? And if so, what subjects could it be used for?
That's a good question. I think personally you could use Kahoots for all subjects. You could use it for social studies, you could use it for reading, language arts, and personally I think I would use it for social studies or something that would like have the students answer more multiple choice questions, but it would make them more engaging. Any more
Okay.
questions?
I actually have a question. So you talked about how you can connect with like different countries and stuff. Um, how many, do you know how many different countries you can connect with through this program?
Actually, what I found really interesting was you can connect with 180 countries with this Kahoot program.
Hmm, very cool.
Any more questions?
Yes, I had a couple actually. So just want to clarify. So this is pretty much you would have like a game for them to play. So you create them. There's none that you can just use as an example. You personally have to create them.
Yes, you personally create the game.
Okay. And then also you mentioned something about ghost mode. What exactly is that? Is that something that you do in the game? Is that a type of game?
Ghost mode is really like if the students have answered questions for a game previously. Ghost mode is basically where they're able to play against their previous score. So if they wanted to like improve, they could look back at that score and they could play that same game again, and they can improve if they wanted to.
So that's like them trying to, it's encouraging them to do better than what they
Yeah.
did previously. Okay, thank you.
Okay, everyone. So this is the end of our second Google Hangout. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you have learned something new and something useful that you could use with your students in the near future. All right, thank you.